Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another episode of I Just Watched, the series where I just watch things and sort of do very quick vlog style reviews of them. Today we are going to be doing Underdog, which I believe came out in 2007. It was based on a very old cartoon, not quite sure if it was Hanna-Barbera, I almost said Hannah Montana. I know Jason Lee, the guy from the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, and My Name is Earl. I know he voices Underdog, and I do remember Peter Dinklage being the villain, and I think this was very much pre-Game of Thrones, so he was still in kind of like that elf underdog mode of I do kids movies too. I mean, he still does, but you know what I mean. Very early in his career, I think. I could be wrong. So yeah, the movie's only about 90 minutes long. I do remember seeing this movie a lot as a kid, and I do remember liking it quite a bit, but again, that's like over probably 10 years since I've last watched it. So I'm very excited to go back and revisit it, and I'll see you in about 90 minutes, and let's see how it is.
1 hour later!
Alright, so I just got done watching Underdog from 2007. Man, I remember that being a lot better when I was a kid. The word that I could use that would best describe this movie is just boring. There's a good portion of the second act of this movie that, even though it's just barely 90 minutes, it feels like it starts to drag. And I think it was around the time where the movie tried to set up a relationship between Underdog and Polly, mostly because it's two CG dogs trying to make it seem like they're having a cohesive and satisfying relationship. Which I guess I'll just bring this up now. There's really nothing new being brought to the table in this talking dog movie that also wasn't done years earlier in something like Cats and Dogs. And honestly, just this version of Underdog is not that interesting of a character. His intelligence is very offbeat. Like, he knows what Australia and pantyhose are, but not what a hot dog is. I don't know if it comes down to Jason Lee's performance, honestly, because when he's the full CGI dog, it works better. It's when they're trying to match up his voice to the live action, to the real dog, it really just does not click at all. And honestly, it's kind of a shame because there's a lot of good talent in this movie. I didn't even realize people like Jim Belushi to frickin' Samantha Bee pop up in this movie. But by far, I think the one who's not phoning it in is Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage, I think, is fully committed to this role, and he's probably the highlight of the movie, to be honest. The same I wish could be said for his sidekick, played by Patrick Warburton, but let's be honest, it's just discount Kronk. The climax of this movie is really just farcical and hilarious. I mean, I kid you not. If you found Yoda in the prequels jumping around with a lightsaber funny, he has nothing on either CGI Peter Dinklage or a sped up footage Peter Dinklage bouncing around like flubber. I honestly think if this movie was being made today, they'd be much better off going the Tom and Jerry route with making every animal in this universe a cartoon. The story is bare basic, even going down to the Disney trope of a dead parent. The characters are just not all that interesting, again, Peter Dinklage aside. And yeah, it's just a boring movie. I remember it being a lot better as a kid, so maybe I was just looking at it back then through rose-colored glasses. So yeah, that was my quick thoughts on Underdog. If you've seen the movie recently, or if you even have fond memories of it as a kid, let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, I will see you later.